Welcome back, gentle listeners, to another interview conversation. Back and forth, tete-a-tete, menage a deux with my
Jesus.
my friend William from Incel Riot Games, a spectacular designer of games. You can get his many games such as Virtue Signal and Portland Occupied Zone and all this kind of stuff coming from the depths, the darkest depths of China. I have it on good authority that in fact squats near the Mongolian border, right?
So far away from the Mongolian border.
Chucking spears at the Mongolians, right? And trying to
Mongolians.
keep them out, keep the Han race pure to, obviously, make up for his whiteness. That's about an accurate summary of where you're at, right?
No, not at all. Not a bit. I'm way in the middle.
I can't believe I got something wrong. Oh man, look, everybody in the West knows, right, that everything in China is exactly the same, right? Like you guys live under crushing totalitarian rule, right? You got like digital ID. Everyone has like a camera implanted in their anus, and if you say anything like sideways about Chairman Xi, they haul you off to the re-education camp. That's right, yeah. I've got that correct, yeah.
That's about right. Yeah, that's true. Well, I'll tell you what. There's an imaginary line that runs through the middle of the country horizontally. It's a straight line, right, that divides north and the south. Okay, if you live north of this line, you get heating installed in your house because it's cold. Right. If you live south of this very arbitrary line, you don't. Okay.
Okay. So what if
we live barely south of the line? Yeah.
So what happens if it gets cold? do you petition the government for them to deliver you like extra heat or something, or you just suffer like a peasant?
No. You just suffer. We take things out of the fridge. No, well, we take things out of the fridge, keep them cold, and put them in the fridge. We don't.
Your internet connection is terrible, mate. It's like it keeps dropping in. Now we've got a phantom.
Is that better?
Wait, we've got a phantom of you on there. Wait. Okay, that's better. That's better.
Is that better now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Right. So we were discussing the mythical line drawn across the center of China. I guess it's sort of the real world example of that whole old adage. You got to draw a line somewhere, right?
Well, I don't know. You could make it like it could not be a government thing, and like people could just like install it if they want to.
Man, I don't know. That sounds a bit capitalist to me. I don't know. You know, Trump's in China at the moment.
I do. I tried to share some stuff and automatically got flagged and nobody saw it. So
he's having a great time, especially like your Beijing duck, very, very succulent. I mean, he's basically there with Musk and I don't know if Thiel's there, but like all the corporate class are there, presumably to like beg.
I went through the list, and it looks like there are no moos on the list.
No. Apparently, like Miriam Adelson's there. Apparently, I mean, at least
except for her. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I saw.
Except for that one.
I saw a video, except for the most important one. I saw a video going around where she was like introducing everybody, but I couldn't really see the face, so I don't.
Yeah. People were saying that. I didn't see anything unusual except anything unusual in the photo. Just people were saying, "Look, she's coordinating the entire event." Like, is she? I mean, I see her standing there, or somebody with silver hair, the back of them standing there. But are they really in charge? Like from that position, I don't think they are.
I don't know. I don't know. You're right. Because I don't. You don't want a Mooseberg, right? And just be like, oh my god, every single thing, right? But then on the other hand, they are such an incredibly powerful lobby group that, right? Like,
true, but there are. I know people hate it when they say. People don't like it when you make things complex because they like it simple. True. So they know what to think.
True.
But did you see the BB files? Tucker Carlson had them rebroadcast on his site.
I
kind of important, actually.
I don't know. No, I don't think I did. Oh wait, let me guess. Did it reveal that he's like super corrupt and like a massive, incredible like racist and
yes, but
like
more importantly,
in the Middle East?
More importantly, there is a closed circuit video of Miriam Adelson giving a deposition about Bibi Netanyahu, and where she says, if he hears me, if he knows I said that, he'll kill me.
That's right. I've seen that.
I don't think like there are moving parts within like Israel. Right? I think they're enemies, actually. I think Miriam Adelson and Bibi Netanyahu are enemies. They appear to be enemies.
I find that hard to believe. I was reliably informed by 4chan that every single moo in the world is on great relationship with every single other moo in the world.
Yep, they're a hive mind. It's one dude named Israel, and
yeah, that's right. That's how they work from the tiny gland that they have implanted in.
Very similar to China. Very similar to China. Like
very similar. Exactly.
China thinks. What does China want?
China
wants women.
It is weird how that works, though, right? Like when it is a population that objective that you're trying to sort of move the stupids towards, right? Like you see this with Russia, right? Like if you believe Western media, all of Russia is basically just Putin. Like that's all there is. Right. There is Putin. Like he's just he's like the Leviathan, like just And it's totally cool to like hate all Russians and look at like Russians as this like one blob, right? But then when you when it's another group, it's like, oh no, it's actually very, very complicated, and they're they're individuals. And
you can say China wants something, you can say Russia wants, you can say Iran wants.
Yeah.
Can you say France wants? Like what the hell? America wants? Like what the hell are you talking about? Because Joe Biden said blah blah blah. That means all of America wants,
No one knows what France
applesauce
wants, right? No one knows what Europe wants, except they want more censorship. Like clearly, like man, they are real. It's like the WEF got into power, and America elected Trump, and then Trump sort of veered away from the WEF. But Europe just like swallowed it whole. Like they are going the full sloppy toppy. They're just like num. Right? The World Economic Forum. Oh. Like it's fucking crazy how like dystopian they're getting. They're starting like pre-bunking programs for toddlers and
I don't know.
Now.
I don't know if I'm on board with the. I think have I said this before? I think the WEF is a club for idiot billionaires. You know what I mean?
Well, if it's a club for idiot billionaires, then how do they get so much fucking policy passed?
Do they?
Yes. Not everywhere, but in certain places they fucking hell they do. Yeah.
Oh, like Britain, maybe, probably.
Oh, Europe, generally speaking, right?
But consider like who's in the WEF. It's like it's Bill Gates, right? It's all the morons,
right? But those excuse me, those morons own my country. Thank you very much. Right?
Touche. All right. Okay.
Right. So like, yes.
There's always Britain. Stick a pin in that. There's Britain.
I won't hear a bad word against these people, because if you say a bad word, I might get hauled off for hate speech. Right. But even if I was not under threat of being hauled off for hate speech, right? I have such a genuine, just love for those kind of people, much like the kind of love that the Russians had towards great comrade Stalin, except at least Stalin built stuff. Whereas in the the diverse and delightful UK, you don't really build anything, except for like suffering, sorrow, and migrants. The actual, I was doing a bunch of like propaganda posts. Wait,
let's see what I mean, though, right? Like the billionaires with actual skills, like a Larry Ellison or like an Elon Musk or like one of those guys, are not in the WEF.
I mean, I guess like were they not in the WEF?
I mean, think so. It seems like they're busy doing important things.
I thought the WEF was on board with Peter Thiel and Larry Ellison and all those people, because that's where they were going to get to do the new fabulous control grid, right? Like, and they can't build that shit themselves.
I think the WEF is like a decoy organization, right? So like the powerful people are actually having like actual meetings, like in secret, like to rule the world. But if you have like somebody like a Bill Gates, like who nobody likes, like even back then, and especially now, like nobody likes Bill Gates, even other billionaires, especially other billionaires. Larry Ellison hates Bill Gates more than any other person in the world.
Bill Gates isn't giving money to other billionaires, right? Bill Gates doesn't give a fuck if other billionaires like him, right? Bill Gates goes to like brainwashed bureaucrats and is like, oh, there's a new pandemic coming up. Have like a $1 billion. Oh, you're making like, artificial meat slop. Have like $1 million. I do it for the love of the game.
Larry Ellison will go to the actual meeting and do, like lay the foundations of the New World Order. And Bill Gates, you're like, yeah, well, you join the WEF, like, and you can like do the meat slop and drink the poop water on TV. Yeah, totally. This is the real club for powerful people. You're in it, bro. Like you've arrived.
I was,
they laugh at him.
I've been messing around with the new Grok agent image thing, trying to,
very cool.
And feeding it like old propaganda posters from the Soviet Union and getting it to do like updates. I'm particularly proud of this one.
What did that little black baby do wrong? And why is his hand so much darker than his face?
Well, because when Grok made the original one, right, it didn't do the colors quite right. So I had to like correct them after. Actually, that's version 1. Version 2 is
Grok does not care about black people.
Version 2 is better. Check this out.
Genius. Absolute genius.
Diversity for our communities. Yeah, I was thinking of, I don't know, getting some like some like proper Soviet era music. There's like those songs they wrote about like Stalin, like glory to Stalin, and Stalin is the glorious one.
The tractor musicals.
Stalin has a 21-inch penis, and he's gonna like build railways across my heart and all that kind of shit, right?
Not familiar.
Oh no, you've never heard that one. Oh mate, I can't sing the Russian, but yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic.
I know he was really into like American musicals and tried to replicate them, but he was like with like Russian peasants farming.
He was actually also really into American Negro struggle musicals.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently Stalin was like, one of his favorite movies was like some black dude like struggles to get ahead in a white world, and I forget the name of it. But
Blackboard Jungle. The Defiant Ones. I don't know. When did he die? It was like 1940. Got to think of something before then.
No, wasn't it like 50 something? Right. He turned against the Zionists because he thought Israel was turning into like a Western project. And
so post 48. All right, I'm wrong.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of people in the Politburo started like dying. And they discovered, well, obviously this is all lies because you can't trust anything that like Stalin says, presumably, right? You can only trust stuff that Trotsky says, right? Because Trotsky, of course, is the most reliable source, right? And they discovered that it was a bunch of mainly Moorish doctors that were like doing in heads of the Politburo, and then they had this thing called the doctors' trial, right, where they like arrested like a whole bunch of them, and they were going to like execute them, and then Stalin just like dropped dead all of a sudden, and they called the trial off, right? So. Draw your own conclusions, I guess.
Okay. I have never heard of that. I've seen the death of Stalin like maybe 5 times. When Steve Buscemi shoots Beria to death, that's probably my favorite.
They don't really treat history well in popular movies. I've noticed.
Are you saying that's not accurate?
Yes, and I am saying that it is only really fictionalized versions of history that are accurate, because when it's fictionalized, you can wrap everything up into a nice, like, tight package and put a little bow on it and everything makes sense. Whereas history itself is like messy and full of like unanswered questions, and you know what I'm saying, right? Like that's how you can tell if something's been made up. Like the thing I was doing on my history show, the Wondrous Tales of the Maharal, by Yodel Rosenberg, right? Like one of the I mean, apart from the fact that he reckons it's from the 1600s and it literally reads like it was written in 1900, is that it's you can tell it's fictional because all the history like wraps up and it's there's the good guys and the bad guys. It's like a cop story. You know what I mean, right? Oh, there's the good dudes and there's the bad dudes, and by the end, the good dudes triumph, and yeah. So
that's kind of true, isn't it? It's got to be memeable. It's got to be like you got to mythologize it to some extent. You were asking me whether I was still trusting the plan, so that
I did. Are you still trusting the plan? I mean, I certainly am trusting the plan when it comes to the UK.
Well, I don't know. I guess we talked about this last time, like what I thought was happening, like like the Trump fronts for the group or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Here's what I think is happening. I can't explain everything, and I'm very confused about why some things had to happen the way they happened. But so if you assume that Seymour Hersh is right, and this is like basically a military coup. There's no other word for it. It's basically a military coup. A military coup that it's very important to them that the transfer of power not look like a military coup, right? That it looks that they navigate this crisis, without any bloodshed or without anybody knowing, possibly.
What's wrong with a military coup? Sends a
I
strong
don't have
message,
a problem with it.
Right? Sends a strong message. Everybody knows what side
I'm
they're
not
on,
against
right?
it. I'm not against it. And if it were me, I would just bring in
the new order, right? Diversity is our strength, after all.
Well, this would be the counter to that. The counter coup.
The counter coup and
the military-based anti-globalist coup.
It doesn't seem like it's happening. I mean, I don't know, right? I mean, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, right? And
that's
everyone's like pretending like, it's not really happening. I personally just cannot wait for the massive refugee flows that are going to result when India starts like fucking starving. Okay. Oh my God, it's going to be actually, you guys in China will probably get, well, actually, I don't know, because you guys have a border. China actually has a border, doesn't it?
Well, a border and also the Himalayas, but yes.
The Himalayas. Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard for them to get across it, if they're hungry, right? Like they.
That's true. Starving people do not climb to the top of the world very well.
See, that's what the UK needs, right? We need to make our own Himalayas around the edges of the island, right?
You've got the channel. You got like built in. But you have like the Navy. England was impenetrable for 1,000 years. No. China was bringing people over in like cable cars, like the Britons are doing. Then we'd be full of refugees.
The Navy is to kill Russians, right? Not French. People and French, right? Like not people actually attacking their own population. My God, like what is this, right? Say you trust the plan, and you're not even up with the current lingo. We must let every single colored chancer into the UK. We have to look, if you will please consult the poster. Diversity is our strength.
Mm-hmm. Wow, what happened to that black guy's arm? Something terrible.
I don't know. It looks like a black robot, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I found the original logo on Reddit or something like that. I just think it looks really, really cool. So
this isn't the original, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, I know. But I just wanted something so I could like slap cool slogans on it. I made like 10 of them actually.
This looks like Calibri or something.
I do not understand fonts.
I wish I understood them better.
I don't understand them. It is like a visual language I am not familiar with. So when I wind up doing like thumbnails, that's why they're like usually crap. Or
that's why they're all impact bold. I noticed.
I do like a bit of impact bold, right?
I keep wondering if I should say something. I said something about the logo, and you know how that turned out. Listeners, shut up, Newsfist. Listeners, I made this man a fantastic logo. I worked really hard on it. It looks amazing.
But it wasn't my logo.
He doesn't want it. You approved the sketch.
It wasn't my logo, though.
You approved the sketch, you bought.
Oh, look.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I've already forgotten about it. I'm putting it behind me, moving on, living life day by day. I will get past this.
I just want another version.
But it was amazing. It was really good.
I should have said something.
You should demand in the comments. You should demand in the comments that he show it to you.
I can show it to you. Wait. I've got it in my I've got it in my thing. Where the hell is it? I can't remember.
Anyway.
No, I totally saved it. Like, anyway, so the plan is all right. Let me.
Okay, this is complicated. So
okay.
What it seems to me, because like I don't know, a lot of stuff has happened, and people seem to be focused only on the things that are happening in the past 6 weeks, and I wanted to put it all into like a perspective that kind of makes sense to me and maybe to other people. But it seems to me like in the first Trump administration, you have this clique who is in charge, like they have political power, but they're not actually in charge, right? They don't control the military. The deep state is still there, right? And working against them all the time. Oh, there it is. Isn't that great?
I mean, wow. I can't with the color scheme. It's not my logo. My logo is to do with the TV head with like a palm in the screen holding out a microphone with a fist. Like
I showed you the sketch and you approved it. You said it was great.
I did. Look, it's been a long time since I've had art commissioned. Right? I'm still like
every other client. Like they proved. Yeah, it looks great. Did you look at it? No,
I didn't look at it. I got all nervous.
Anyway. Back on topic.
Right.
Back on topic. So, it seems to me like they were in political power, but they did not have like capacity, right? Like they had the power to get to win the election, but they didn't have like any propaganda capacity, like at all, like the way the deep state does. Like they didn't have any news platform. They didn't have any social media platform. They didn't have any personalities, right? None of that. So they're going to all do it like by the book, like legalistically, which is like basically what comes through like on the Q side. Like we've got the votes, like we can, like this guy can move, Pence can change the vote at the last minute, whatever. Right. And legalistically, like we can like defeat the steal and like get all this stuff across, but it wasn't like reaching people. You know what I mean? Like the Q, it's very, very extremely niche.
That's like that, but that's not true. They had Alex Jones. They had like a bunch of other people.
Right. Okay. It's not like they didn't have anybody, but it's like
they were dick riding him like right up until the time when he decided
to reach his run. You want to reach everybody. You want to reach everybody, not just your base and not just
bullshit. You're not reaching. Hang
on. This is my theory of what I think they are thinking.
Okay.
What is happening, not what I think should happen.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And it seems to me like between 2016 and 2020, like they shifted tactics and like said, okay, we can't. Oh, and another thing, like back then, like the reason that Trump did so well is because he was like basically using their media against them. Right. I think this is a widely held opinion, right? He just basically trolls the Democrats and like makes them carry his content. Right. And between 2016 and 2020, I think somebody got in his ear, perhaps Tucker Carlson, I don't know, somebody who's an expert in media and says, no, you're going to have to do propaganda, right? To overcome the propaganda of the deep state.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You're gonna have to build your own capacity. Like we're gonna need a social media platform. We're gonna need maybe we don't need television, right? But we're gonna need like presenters, right? And it can't just be for like this niche MAGA base who's like really into the military, like the Q audience. It's gotta be, we gotta have one for women, we've gotta have one for young people, we've gotta have one for, more serious people. You gotta cover all like every frame of the Overton window. It's got to be like a real propaganda process. And it seems to be like since the most recent election, well, 2020, it was 2020 we got, it was just soon after 2020 that Elon Musk bought X. And X has been like the nexus. Like you can watch like who promotes whom, right? And you can kind of tell like, like back, because like notoriety is not, you can't just like bootstrap yourself. You got to get it from somebody, right? So like way back in the 80s and 90s, like when CNN, where they were building up CNN, they would put it in every Hollywood movie, right? Remember that?
I remember.
Just like bootstrapping CNN, like making it in like people's minds like the number one network. So like it would be like a Transformers movie, and there would be like, you know, what's his name?
Yeah, but they had Fox, right? Like, I mean, I don't know, man.
Well,
like,
this would be CNN though. It's like really before Fox News.
No, but Fox has been around for ages, and they're like, you know, Trump, rah rah rah. Look, no, he clearly had enough of a base, right, to get voted in because of like what happened. I mean, even the, you know,
right, but that's not enough, right? Even within the base, like if you the voting base, if you figure like most centrists don't vote, his base is like maybe 30 to 40%. That's enough to win an election, right? But it's not enough to win the propaganda war.
But I'm not sure you can win the propaganda war in the US.
I think you can.
No, not everyone.
Hang on. I haven't gotten to my.
Okay, right. Please go on. Please go on.
I haven't gotten to my theory. Okay, and I think that somebody realized. Okay, going back, I don't think that Trump's the leader of this movement. I think he's a tool. What's his name? The fat guy. He said this. The Breitbart guy. I forget his name.
Okay.
Bannon. Steve Bannon. Yeah, Bannon. Trump is a tool. Trump is just a tool. He's not the movement. So Trump himself, having pissed everybody off, right? If he advances any platform or any agenda that he advances, most people are going to resist, domestically and globally. Like the 30 to 40% that support him are going to love it. Everybody else is going to hate it. So there's like a ceiling there, right? But Trump derangement syndrome can go to the moon, right? So we'll do like a heel turn, like John Cena did in the WWE. We'll suddenly make him into a villain, have him betray his base, and have him advocate for everything that we hate, right? And by simple reverse psychology, right, he's going to boost boost everything that we like by going against it.
I don't. What you mean? He's going to help the Democrats get reelected?
No, he's going to help Massey get reelected.
But
naming him as an enemy.
No one in the elite classes, as far as I can tell, wants Massey, right? Unless we're going back to the whole QAnon thing. There's a secret cabal inside the deep state that wants an end to all the corruption, and it's them that's backing.
I never said that. But there is a separate cabal that wants to take power from the first cabal.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, we've established that's real. Like, you know, Seymour Hersh, military, it's real. They're real. Are they still there? I think so. Right. That's the Trump, the faction that Trump fronts for is the military faction.
They must have comparatively like very little power, right? Like, or, you know, at least in terms of
I think their power has increased. I think they're dominating the narrative now.
In what sense? What narrative would you say they're dominating?
Well, back when the previous the Zionist deep state was in charge, like the dynamic was left versus right. Okay. Trans issues, immigration issues. I'm not saying those aren't serious, but they are a distraction, much in the same way that, like, you know, setting your house on fire is a distraction. It's serious, but, you know, it's distracting you.
Right.
And now every single like dominant story that people care about divides Americans from Israel. The Charlie Kirk shooting is the major story between hang on, let me finish. Between America and Israel. The war, right? Divides between America and Israel. The Massey campaign in AIPAC, right? Big news, divides between America and Israel. Erica Kirk, you can just go down the list. Everything, like, that's the ultimate destination, right? That's where the wedges are. And that's where they want it. Like, they want to divide the Zionists from the rest of us.
I mean, I guess it's a possibility. I would have thought
that is what's happening. You just have to ask.
I know that's what happened.
It's not, and I think it is.
I know that's what's happening, but my view on this is it's because the Zionists, once they got Trump in, they're like, this is our sort of one window for this great shot. So we got to take out Gaza, we got to like attack Iran, we got to do all of this stuff in 4 years, right? And it doesn't really matter because they couldn't even get Biden to back erasing Gaza and attacking Iran, right? Whereas Trump is much more pliable on this. But
I don't think that's true.
No one wants it. And then when everyone's questioning, like, well, why are we backing this? And everyone's like, well, it's, they look back and, the huge power of the lobby that's been around. I don't know. I think they're making like a massive gamble, and either it will pay off and they will get their greater Israel, or they're going to be completely screwed. It's weird that Iran has basically managed to, like, at the moment anyway, fight America to a standstill. They might just be pausing until after the midterms, though, and they might just decide, like, once the midterms are like dealt with, like, then we'll do the invasion or whatever. But at the moment, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. It's been closed for like months now. Everything is like the shit is about to like hit the fan probably in June, and everyone's like, oh no, like it'll be fine. I don't think it's going to be fine at all. Like, where's everyone going to get all the extra petrochemical products from? And I think also in the wings as well, right? Like I think a bunch of the environmentalists are actually like really, really happy about this, right? Like all the people who are like, oh, there's too many like people on planet Earth, and we use too much oil and we use too much plastic, and they'll be like, well, that's one way to wean the world off oil and plastic is by just like shutting down the Persian Gulf, Yeah.
I think Trump is anti-Zionist.
He's got a funny way of showing it.
Does he? Yeah. Well, it's not 5D chess. It's simple reverse psychology.
But in what sense? Like, what do you mean? They're like, Trump is assisting the Zionists to get the goals, the same goals that they have propagated for like 20, 30 years.
They're not going to get anything. I promise you. They haven't got. He denied them Gaza. Why didn't he give them Gaza? That's what they want.
What do you mean they've got Gaza?
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
The important point is that most of the people are gone. They can iron out all of the stuff like later, right? They can just do stuff. Really.
He's not going to get Gaza. He's not going to get regime change in Iran.
Yes, but the reason why he's not going to get regime change in Iran is not for lack of trying. In fact, I don't know whether it's really regime change that they want. I think they just want to do a Syria to Iran or a Gaza to Iran. They just or an Iraq. They just want to reduce the country to a state of abject poverty, so that it's no longer any kind of threat to like a properly organized polity.
The problem with that theory is that it assumes that everybody's a moron, and I can't buy. I don't think that Trump is a moron. I don't think the people who he fronts for are morons either. Like,
why does that assume that people are morons? Like, look,
that they didn't know that they couldn't win a war in Iran. Of course they knew. Everybody knew.
Well, that's my point.
Every time they war gamed it out, it was like, it's like they didn't go in there like thinking they could win. Obviously, that would be stupid. You and I know that, and we're not military experts.
Well,
alternative theory. I know what everybody thinks. I'm going to go schizo here, and I'm going to diverge radically. I think it's a Vietnam for Israel.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the sense that it'll be a quagmire and sort of a thing that like breaks them, sort of thing.
It has already basically destroyed their standing in the world. That has already been accomplished. Whether or not it's going to be an end in like physical destruction, I can't say. And I think my theory works up to the point of I don't know what's going on with Hormuz. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit with the prevailing theory. It doesn't fit with my theory either. It doesn't fit with any theory as far as I can tell.
I have a theory on that explains all of this. They're crazy messianic idiots. And the problem with messianic prophecy is that there is a tendency to basically like smoke weapons grade copium and believe that, if you just keep doing the thing, right, God will somehow magically make it better. I mean, or they've got like a longer term plan that's, you know, just about. I mean, it seemed like they really thought the regime change thing would work, or maybe that they could do like shock and awe. I mean, shit, you know, it worked for Iraq. I mean, the main sort of people, like, I don't know if you read that article by Kagan, who's he's Victoria Nuland's husband, right? So Nuland and Kagan are sort of like part of the neocon, highly mooish foreign policy axis that has been basically in charge of US foreign policy for, well, whenever the Republicans have been in for ages, and they had significant influence under the Biden administration. These are the people that you wind up like reading in university if you study international relations, right? And even he is like, oh, this whole Iran thing turned out to be a disaster. But given the number of coups that these people have supported and been involved with, I think it's perfectly reasonable to think that they thought that this would work. But I think it's also completely reasonable to assume that the Iranians knew this is exactly what they do, because they've done it so many times before. It's like it's not a new and innovative playbook, right? You know, Ukraine,
right? And
Syria,
if you ignore everything that's happened since the Trump administration, then yes, you can say it's just business as usual. It's, you know, nothing has changed, but things have changed, right? The Trump administration is not friends with Israel. They are enemies, clearly.
I mean, I don't know.
What can it be denied? Well, blowing up ISIS. ISIS is a known Gulf state / CIA / Mossad asset.
Sure,
right. and they blew it up with the help of the Russians. Trump and the Russians. Of course he did. Well,
how do you
Trump
know
himself personally, but the faction that he supports, yes, we used our military to go and wipe them out.
Right, and you know how that came about, right? So Trump had been trying to attack ISIS for ages. Every single time, like he ordered.
Why would he destroy a Mossad asset?
No.
He's allied with the Israelis.
Every single time he ordered the military to attack ISIS, it never happened. And then it turned out that the military were lying to him, right? And the way he got around it was he like went outside the chain of command and he found like one person who was like basically on the ground and said to them, you know, why can't we destroy ISIS? And the guy was like, oh yeah, we could totally destroy ISIS, right? So I don't think necessarily that Trump knew that Mossad was running ISIS, despite the fact it
doesn't matter if the Mossad controls him. If you know who controls him, you can just tell him like not to do that.
Right, but does Mossad control him in that way, or is it more a sort of kind of game of like mirrors? Like, you know, is he just sort of insulated from reality, and even more so now that he's like lost connections to reality? People like Charlie Kirk, people like Tucker, and now
I don't buy that story at all. But yeah,
mirror disco ball. You know what I mean? Like secluded away and just, you know, just getting briefing. Just who it is that the leader.
If that's true, then in what sense is he controlled? Right.
Well,
it only works sometimes.
No, not really. Like, you know, controlling a leader is a lot the same as controlling a populace, right? You just selectively alter the information that they get, and you control their framing. And you know, you could argue that actually the rewards for propagandizing a leader are much, much greater than that of propagandizing a population. Same principles apply. Really, you just surround them with your people and make sure that they vet all information that reaches his ears.
It seems awfully convenient. Like they can force Trump to do a war that's catastrophic for the United States that he said many times he didn't want to do, but they can't stop him from destroying like their main terrorist asset in the Middle East. I don't know how that works.
Well, he attacked ISIS in his first term, and there does seem to be a distinctly different dynamic between him and the Zionists in the first term versus the second term.
I think the dynamic is like the messaging has changed.
Then why would they let him destroy ISIS? Right? Like what? Maybe they started getting too uppity.
I don't think they did. They did not let him destroy ISIS because they don't control him. How about this? Was it last year? What are we calling it now? The 11-day war, the 14-day war? I forgot how many days.
Oh, I don't know.
The first Iran war, right?
Yep.
In which, despite what you heard on the talking heads are saying, nobody got hurt. Right? The Trump administration told Iran in advance where they were going to bomb. Iran moved all their personnel out, right? They bombed an empty building. And then Iran turns around and notifies U.S. CENTCOM in Qatar, they're going to blow something up, and we pull all our guys out. And nobody gets hurt.
that wasn't the 11-day war. That was the sort of status quo that existed between Iran and the US for like ages. And then
but that happened.
Then Israel like attacked Tehran, right? And then it like properly kicked off, and they were like missiling Tel Aviv, and that was when it actually kicked off. That sort of back and forth, like tiptoeing around it, had been going on for
But ages. My point is, this is evidence that the United States is back channeling with Iran, because Marco Rubio did not visit Tehran and meet with the Ayatollah to negotiate this deal, right? Obviously, this was done elsewhere.
Right. No, obviously, like that's absolutely true. They were back channeling. I mean, not even back channeling. That's how they got the.
Are they still back channeling? Are they still back channeling?
Well, my understanding is that most of the people that were back channeling were dead now, actually. And this is one of the things, right? Like it, remember when it kicked off and Trump is like, oh, we're going to negotiate with them to form a new government that's, favorable to the US. And every single time they like figured out who they could talk to, the Israelis would kill them.
Well, that's like the front channel.
Right. But yes, you need people to be a back channel. If you kill every single person on the other end of the call, there is no fucking back channel. Like you're not just using like Tor to communicate or Signal to communicate with like some random person. Like all of these people that like died were like high up in the IRGC, that were high up in the civilian government. I mean, no,
my point is that wasn't okay. That happened like on the front page. What you're saying. Right. We know the names of the negotiators. We know, it wasn't United States negotiators, but it was like, it was. No, it was United States negotiators with the IRGC. But this, with the war, when our military notified their military, who was that? We don't know.
Right. Well, it's probably.
We see evidence that it happened, but we don't know anything about the negotiations. We don't know where they met, and we don't know who attended.
Right, but it would have to have been someone high up in the IRGC, right? Because
my point is we don't know. We don't know. And those people probably didn't get bombed because we don't know who they are. It happened in secret.
That sounds like massive cope to me, man, personally, right? Like my view on this is that a lot of this stuff was designed to lock the US and Iran irretrievably into a war. Because one of the things about Iran is that they have been very, very reluctant to go to war, right? Like the Israelis have been like, poking the bear, like, or I don't know what Iran's animal is, right? But poking the bear with them for like ages and ages and ages, okay? And Iran, every single time, like, they'll do this stuff like exactly what you were describing, right? They'll call the US ahead of time and be like, look, we're going to like missile strike this like thing, make sure like all of your people are out so they don't kill it, because they didn't want a war, right? And then, the Israelis or the Americans or somebody like bombs that freaking school, kills like all these people, all the moderates basically in the government. And to me, it seems like they were just deliberately trying to engineer a situation where it would be impossible for the two sides to communicate, like Russia and Ukraine. That's why you can't get any kind of settlement between Russia and Ukraine, because the Ukrainians made it illegal to negotiate with the Russians. So the war is a desired outcome, if you know what I'm saying. But it's only a desired outcome if the American, in the case of Iran, if the Americans commit to it fully. And I don't think Trump is willing to commit. And by the way, right, I don't think it's appropriate to say that they control Trump. It's more appropriate to say that they influence him. There's a big difference, right? A lot of people talk about this in terms of control, like it's literally like a meat puppet. But I think influence would be a much better way of describing it, because influence can be very powerful, right? If it's done in the right way, but it can also be resisted if the person that you're trying to influence decides like, no, fuck you, I'm not interested. I'm going to get like written down in history books as the person who crashed the global economy. I don't want that,
Well, yes, okay. I don't think it's cope if it's not headline news, but it happened, if you follow me.
Right.
The thing that they push through the headlines, that's what they want you to think.
Okay.
That's the story they want. That's the story they want.
I don't get my news from fucking headlines. I get all my news from
even if
Twitter
it comes through X, dude. What? Did you see the channel partners, man? It's not headlines anymore. It's not like talking head behind a desk. It's channel partners. It's people like Mark Levin and all the Laura Loomer and all these guys. That's where it comes through.
No one's getting their news from fucking Mark Levin and Laura Loomer.
I used it as an example. I didn't want to take down anybody. Well, Judge Napolitano or Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens or all these guys.
I mean, I actually get most of my geopolitical news from from Alexander Mercouris, who is like really, really, really good on foreign policy stuff. And I'm a massive autist in that. But the thing is, he has proven to be incredibly prescient. Judge Napolitano like annoys me because the people he'll have people on and he'll ask these really, really simple questions, and I'll know, like, listen, man, right? I think by now, everybody knows the answer to that fucking question.
Yeah, and he'll ask the same question to like every guest on the same day, and they'll say the same things. I stopped listening.
I mean, he does have Mearsheimer on though. I do like John Mearsheimer.
Mearsheimer's good. Mearsheimer's good. I think Mearsheimer and Sachs. I think they're in the. Here's another thing that. All right, you may call it massive cope. I'm just gonna own that. I'm gonna cope this entire thing.
Okay.
I'm consuming all of the copium. I'm bogarting all the copium. I'm leaving nothing for anybody else. I don't think the cabinet. When they were doing the cabinet selection process, like really seriously, like they're the only thing they have in common, the only qualifying characteristic they have is that they're young, relatively good looking mostly, and look good on television. But they're all like lightweights. They're nobodies, right? Especially Hegseth and Rubio. Like,
yeah.
On the other hand, all the guys who advised Trump's first administration, the heavy hitters, like whatever you think of them, what they're saying on their show, Napolitano, Jeffrey Sachs, Mearsheimer, McGregor, who's the other guy, Larry Wilkerson, right? These guys are heavy hitters, right? And because their OPSEC is so bad, I watched their show and they did a leak that they're going on diplomatic missions to China all the time and to Russia, right? Yeah. And they have like the president on speed dial. They just kind of leak it. Like, Napolitano's like, I was just on the phone with the president. I asked him, like, do you really want to blah, blah, blah? And he was like, oh, man, I'm very concerned.
To be fair, right? Like, Trump has fucking terrible OPSEC. Like, I mean, he leaks shit all the time over.
Yeah, but right? I think those are everything that comes across like the mainstream X, everything that gets promoted, everything that gets pushed in front of your eyeballs, even if it's not, cable news is defunct. Everything gets pushed in front of your eyeballs. I don't think it's necessarily untrue, but I think it's what you're supposed to see, right? I mean, you're supposed to see they're building up Trump clearly. Like he hasn't done a good thing in a year. It's been disaster after disaster after disaster, and it seems intentional. Like they're driving him into the dirt, right? He wants to be hated. They want you to hate him.
I mean, I guess he's doing a great job of that just by himself. Like, look,
it's so silly. Like the golden statue, like that's not a mistake. It's meant to make people apoplectic.
I think there is a simpler explanation, right? Which is that he has just withdrawn from the public into the elite sphere, right? And he is now basically surrounded by yes men and ass kissers that are fucking polishing his knob fucking 24/7, right? And the golden statue was paid for by a group, if I'm recalling this correctly, a group of Chabad rabbis and some evangelical pastors. So, and I don't know, apparently it has a bunch of like occult significance and stuff.
I'm sure it does.
And I mean, look, is it really hard to believe that someone like Trump would not be impressed by a huge golden statue of himself in his finest moment? Because that seems like exactly the kind of like shit that would like rev his engine personally. Like,
true,
right?
But it's not 5D chess to do the kind of drama that they do in the WWE or on a soap opera. It's not that complicated.
Look, I get that. Right. The question is, what is the hypothetical power above all politics that is arranging this seamless dance? Now, I'm not saying that there are not powers above nation states, right? What I am disputing is the idea that you can choreograph a system as complicated as the entire planet that well, right? It just seems like it's always messy. It's always complicated. Look, I think really they thought that, I don't know, that they could like collapse Iran's government, maybe, or like maybe they've got like the long play and like they know they're going to have to like invade, or like, you know, they're going to drop a nuke or something. I don't know. I'm sure, I can certainly believe that Trump is to be discarded by these people, right? Like once his
that surprised me. I didn't think he'd go along with that, but it seems to be what's going on.
Well, I see. Again, I think it's, you know, like most of the foreign policy people that I respect are basically saying that. So okay, so one of the things that a lot of the normies do not appreciate is that in the West, practically all of their intelligence from the Middle East comes through Mossad, okay? Because Mossad has incredible penetration all throughout the Middle East. And because there's the physiognomy of the two groups are very, very similar, it's much, much easier for an Israeli to pretend to be like an Arab or a Persian than it is for like a white American or a black American. Okay, right? You can't like roll up and be like, yo, blood, fucking, what up in, you know, my Arab hizomes. Okay, right. So the Israelis have incredible penetration. Now, most of the time, as far as I'm aware, their intelligence is good. Okay. But they use the fact that most of the time their intelligence is good to pivot and feed and misdirect in that 5% of the time where it makes like an incredible difference. So you lull people into a false sense of security. You're like, well, we don't need our own intelligence people on the ground in fucking Tehran or, you know, Gaza or like, you know, Syria or whatever, like hotspot. We've got like Mossad has that covered, because they're always talking about, oh, you know, the thing that people don't understand about Israel is their incredible intelligence collection capability and how awesome it is and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, but the problem is that when it comes to an issue that the Israelis find very, very important, they are known to alter and mislead that intelligence to get the outcome that they want. So I'm sure Trump was being told like, oh, you know, look, you know, you will be able to overthrow the Iranian government. It's a dawdle. Like, you know, they're on the verge of collapse. People do this all the time. Remember all the stuff about like Russia when the Ukraine war started? Oh, Russia's out of tanks. They're on the verge of collapse. They're like a gas station parking lot with like a few nukes stored in this rusty shed out the back. I hated that, man. I remember I was at fucking university and people were saying that, and I was like, Russia, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you know how much natural resources these people have, like their population, their like industrial output. Like, it's just a parking lot. And this is my point. The very people who use that play to get the Ukraine war going are exactly the same goddamn fucking people, right? Like Newland, Kagan, Project.
Except they're not the same people. They're different people.
What do you mean they're different people? They're exactly the same fucking
Newland isn't in this administration.
Oh, dude, come on.
Calm down. But they're not, though.
I think there are people in these kind of circles who continue to wield influence, whether they are in government or not, quite frankly, right? Oh, you back?
Yeah. I dropped for a sec. What happened? Or you did?
I don't know. I was just saying, look, I think that the essence of the NGO, right? Like the whole point behind it is to make a locus of power and funding and stuff, right? That will survive changes in democratic changes in leadership, depending on whether you believe that or not. Because otherwise, because you can't really run anything if you change it every 4 or 5 years. That's why you have to have a quote unquote managerial elite, and that's people like Norland and Kagan and Project for the New American Century. I don't know if they're still around, but like all those same people.
The neocons are. They seem to
that's
be.
That's my point. Like Kagan and Nuland are the fucking neocons, right?
Like, but they're kind of out of power at the moment.
But no, but
even
they're not.
There's another class that superficially says the same kinds of things.
They're just mooish foreign policy heads, right? If it behooves their objectives to be Democrats, they'll be Democrats. If it behooves their objectives to be Republicans, they'll be Republicans. Like I
realize that's how the old system works. All right. Well, if that's true, then why is every prevailing story right now? Why is it driving wedges between the public and Israel, or the world and Israel? Actually, the Epstein files, major story. Charlie Kirk shooting, major story. The Iran war, major story. Every major story accomplishes this goal.
Well, because they were done badly. Like
you're saying it was an accident. How is that an accident? Well, there are no accidents in politics.
Wait. So are you saying that the Charlie Kirk killing was deliberately designed to be badly done? So that
whether or not it was deliberate, I cannot say, but it is being dragged out.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I watched Candace religiously. All right. She everybody knows she's stretching her content out, which it's fine with me. I understand the purpose, right? You want to make a mini series out of that. You want to make you want to Tiger King that bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You draw Epstein files too. The Charlie Kirk, whatever the correspondence dinner shooting, right? You release the news in tranches on a schedule, right?
Yeah.
And that, if you I think they learned very early on, if you just dump, I think they had a too high of opinion of the American public. We'll just dump all this information and intelligent, honest Americans will pick it up and run with it. And that didn't happen, right? So you need to bring the experts in. It's true information, but we're going to present it in a way, right, that it sticks to you forever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But then you are assuming that there is no such thing as independent action. That it is it is literally impossible for any person to go rogue. Remember, we have social media now, right? Like if Tucker was still at Fox, for example, right? He in the days before social media, he would have been completely ghosted. He wouldn't have a platform. It's social media that has enabled tons and tons of this stuff. And I don't think that,
but mostly on X, almost entirely on X. X drives this kind of content because it's run by Confederate Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's you can check that if I want form a new account, for a brand new account with and just scroll the thing, they will push this kind of content to you.
Okay.
Right? You can break up a brand new account with no friends, start scrolling, and within a couple minutes you'll get a Jake Shields post, right?
Okay.
You'll get a ton of anti-Zionist content in your feed, right? That is what the X feed promotes. And the X feed promotes, they have a deal with Tucker Carlson. They promote Candace Owens. They promote the foils to Candace Owens too, like Laura Loomer and Mark Levin. And they have this whole WWF character drama going that really engages the public and drives the message home.
I mean, I guess. I on the other hand, people do just enjoy watching people fight, right? It is
true.
Quite. I cover Mark Levin a lot on stream because he's just so unhinged. But okay, right? This is the other thing. They're not pushing to the front page all the weird mooish conferences they have, right? Those weird speeches that they do when they'll get together and they'll have some strange conference.
Right. No, they don't push everything. A lot of but there's a narrative, right? And the narrative is I don't want to say controlled, but curated. And I don't think it's true. I think people, when they hear the word propaganda, they assume it's a bad thing. I don't think that's true. I think you're going to need some propaganda to get the truth to people. You need experts like a Tucker Carlson, like a Candace Owens.
Propaganda was not originally meant to be a negative thing.
No,
propaganda was meant to just be a way to get actually true stuff to the people by sort of like packaging it in a way that was easier to understand. It wasn't really until sort of it sort of became synonymous with the Soviet Union, because they turned those techniques purely to disseminate lies,
to
that
evil.
It got its,
But contrast, I think it's instructive. Like contrast with like the first administration, where there were many revelations, but they just landed like a ton of bricks, right? The Snowden memos, lots of like very salacious information in the Snowden memos. People know the Snowden memos exist. People know about the personal drama around Snowden. Did anybody read it? No, right? Have to remind people, wait a minute, are you my computer listening to me? Yes, it was in the Snowden memos 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I read
prison system.
Because I'm a total autist. But I mean,
yeah, you and I did, right?
Well, exactly.
Most people didn't,
right?
But they had no impact. They had no impact on the narrative.
So your fundamental assertion is that these revelations, when they first came out, right, like people like Snowden and to a lesser extent like Assange. I mean, Assange was famous in the way that Snowden was, but very, very few people actually read all the WikiLeaks files, right?
Very few.
Your assertion is that they needed mouthpieces to package these revelations in a more palatable way to get them to the people, so that they wouldn't, because otherwise it's only going to be like, turbo autists like yourself and myself that like actually like go into the WikiLeaks emails and like read all that stuff. Okay, I mean, I guess, but then
let me give one more example. Last year, between, I counted, I was keeping track. I was trying to like, listen, this is like, nobody would listen to me. And like the Epstein files, right? Scandal after scandal. You won't release, you will release. They're withholding it, right? But it was a trending topic every single week, except for 2 weeks in July, where we took a short break to cover JFK. And every other week there was something that happened. Pam Bondi she did something like very, wow, I can't believe, I'm so outraged. But it was a trending topic every single week, and it is burned. It is burned into like the normie brain that the Epstein files are critically important. It didn't happen by accident. It didn't happen organically. It was helped. Okay. Even like people like when the Ehud Barak stuff came out. It's like, we don't want this. We want the Epstein files. Like, the Ehud Barak is Epstein's boss.
Right. Okay.
This is so much more important. Like, no, Epstein files. Give me the Epstein files.
Yes. But, people love salacious stories about the corruption of the elite.
Okay, they do. Like, when it is presented in the right way.
They fucking love that shit, right? They lap it up. Okay. So the revel, and I think it might also be that after the Biden years and the Obama years, where they're sort of just, going around saying like, oh, there's no corruption, everything's fine. Like, what are you talking about? We're all like very, very fine, upstanding people. I've got this theory actually that one of the reasons why lies always come out is because people can feel on a sort of gut level that shit isn't right. And there's only so far you can push it by just continually telling someone or telling people, no, it's fine. You're just crazy. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. It's crazy. The lipstick on my collar was just, I was walking along and slipped in a puddle of lipstick or something. If you know what I'm saying, right? Like, people can feel it on a gut level. And I think a lot of this is just a reaction to the fact that everyone has been like gaslit for so long, and that energy is suddenly like arced to, I guess, a simple. Well, I mean, the Epstein files, I guess, is not such a simple story, but in the way it is absorbed by the public is a very, very simple story, right? Epstein, bad man, private island, human trafficking, money for the elite, secret network of the elite. Don't think too hard about the money power, right? Like, don't ask any questions about central banking and like whether we should reconsider like usury and all these kinds of like other stuff. I mean, you could make an argument actually, right? How's this for a schizo idea? That
one more. Can I make one more?
No, wait. This is good.
Right, go ahead.
Right? That focusing on Epstein is like the way they dealt with Occupy Wall Street is a way to get around these like questions about, for example, central banking, usury, this kind of like stuff by just like instead reframing it and saying, oh yes, it was that bad man and his like other elites, and their primary crime was sexual perversion, not that their primary crime was being part of and facilitating the sort of money power network that like ruins countries and destroys the living standards of like people around the world. I'm just saying.
I think it's a carrier wave that you can hang all these things on. It's the signal that you can fill with content. Like you can say the Epstein class, right? Which has emerged as a word, right? The Epstein class is the banking elite.
It's the money.
Right?
It's the money power.
Right.
Yeah.
One more data point.
Okay.
If you recall, this narrative began like Candace. Candace is like the leading edge, and Tucker's the trailing edge. She's like the head of the window. He's like the back of the window. She'll penetrate like the new topic, and like a couple months later, Tucker will bring up the bottom. Like he'll scoop up all the stragglers and like push them along. Okay. That was doing really, really well. Okay. But it was contained to the Republican Party, who read X, right? And it would not go outside of that until Elon Musk says Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. I don't think that's true. But that simple trick, within a week, The Daily Show was covering it. You know, and like Red Letter Media and Reddit.
I guess. I mean,
that happened.
No, I know it happened, but I mean, but that sort of also makes sense because, you know, the lefties want anything that they can to bash Trump. So
exactly,
you know, if Musk did that deliberately as a way to like leak,
is that 5D chess?
The lefty sphere.
Simple reverse psychology. Is that 5D chess?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get, but is that reverse psychology? Like, you know, if Elon did that deliberately, it's not reverse psychology to simply dangle something that you know a certain media group is going to like, you know, pick up on because they hate like
whatever you want to call it. It's leveraging their TDS to disseminate a message that you want to disseminate.
Yes. Like reverse psychology is telling someone not to do something in the knowledge that they will do it because they're, you know, reactants. That's not the same thing.
You were technically correct. The
best kind of correct. Yeah.
The best kind of correct. But okay. So if you're just like media manager and just running the numbers, okay, I have this message that I want to promulgate to the masses. If I have President Trump say he is in favor of this thing, okay, 30% acceptance, right? 30, we'll be generous to say 50. Okay. However, if I say Trump is against this, or if he's incriminated by this or whatever, you can go way past 50%.
Well, I mean, you can now, right? Because
if you drive his reputation into the dirt, right?
Because he's pissed everybody off.
You make him piss everybody off, then your penetration is 80-90%.
Mate, that seems like a.
Would it work if you planned this in advance? Would it work? I think it would. Could you replicate this success? I think you could.
Too many fucking variables, man. I would.
No, it's not. Think. Oh, Mr. Kiriakou. How is it too many variables when, you know, how is it too many variables when the Mossad does it, but not too many variables when a man in a cave does it? That's nonsense.
I like Kiriakou.
I do too.
But this is the thing, right? It does seem like Mossad's not doing a great job unless you take the view, right, that this whole sort of anti-Zionist like thing is an effort to get all of the moves to move back to Israel, which
how do they oppose it? How do they oppose it? He says he loves you to death. How do you oppose it? How do you attack him? I guess you could shoot him again. You could try, right? But how do you attack him in the media? Say he's pro-Hamas. He says he's literally tongue kissing your wall, right? If it's crane kick, if do right, no can defense. There's no defense.
I love Hamas. I am now announcing that I am on the side of the Palestinian people. We will stand up against Israel and the neo-colonial project. Holy shit, that'd be fucking hilarious, mate.
He says he loves you to death. He tongue kisses you all. He puts up your statues. Like he goes and wears the yarmulke and like visits like the tomb of like that Chabad guy. Jeez.
Schneerson.
Right?
Schneerson. Yeah.
Schneerson. What can they do? Thanks. Wait, I think this is really damaging us. Like he's damaging himself, but he's damaging us more. Like, what can you do?
So your theory is, right, that Trump secretly is an anti-citrite, right? That through
the
all
people he works for, willingly or unwillingly,
all of his years of like dealing with like Roy Cohn and like being around like New York, right? He developed like a secret hatred.
I don't think it's secret. I think it goes back.
And now that I am president, I am going to kiss the wall, and then I am going to destroy everything. I mean, I guess, like,
dude, no, okay. Let's go back in time for a minute. Like,
okay. We are now back in time.
Go back in time to like the 80s. Like, why is Trump a celebrity in the first place? The New York elite always treated him like crap. Always treated him like crap. He's nouveau riche. He's from Queens. He talks like a cab driver. He dresses like a toddler. Like, they hate him. They hate the Vanderbilts and who else? Where's the other New York elite? I think it may be the Vanderbilts, but all those Dutch Jewish.
Yeah. I know.
They hate him. They hate him. They never invited him to play in their reindeer games, which is why he made friends with all these celebrities like Michael Jackson and the basketball player who dresses in bridal gowns, whatever his name is. Right? That's why he made friends with them. Like, no, he was the Princess Di of America. The elite hated him for that reason. And also, if you read his book, he mentions this. There was a informal like discrimination system like built into like New York housing in the 1980s.
Right.
Like if you wanted to rent an apartment, you had to join a club, a social club. It's in the Andrea Doria episode of Seinfeld. Right. And it was like so basically like black people or minorities or whatever could not get luxury apartments in Manhattan. Okay. Until Trump comes along. Trump, who hates these guys, who hates these clubs, right? Would just rent to Michael Jackson or Dennis Rodman or whoever paid him money, and he broke that open, right? And he also forcibly integrated like the Mar-a-Lago Social Club in Florida, like made them like admit black people or whatever. But they've been Trump and the New York elite have always been enemies, even though they work together. Of course they do. And
so do you think this is why those same elites mobilized so hard in 2020 to keep him out of office?
Yes.
Right. Because he's gauche and he's brash and he's, but then.
And he's incorruptible. Well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
I'm sure you do. Most people
you just give him a golden statue and like a plate of Big Macs and
that's a character. But famously, he's a teetotaler. He doesn't even drink. Doesn't smoke.
That
works
is true.
Works 21 hours a day, right? He does seem to have like his first marriage fell apart, and then his second marriage fell apart.
All men
there
like
are reasons.
All men like that have multiple marriages. Like it's
true.
Just
that's true.
Like all of these like high tea men.
He's clearly not into kids, right? He has a type, right? Like
I never personally
model
believe that. Like him being
so
a kids thing.
What leverage would they have over him?
Well, this is something that made me wonder. Okay, right? Because the people who, well, I don't know if it's the same people, and this is a really, really interesting question. Okay, so the New York elite, right, clearly didn't want him in 2020. They got like Biden, and that was like a massive like shit show. Okay, but then I got the impression that during his period in the wilderness, he cut a deal with those people, or maybe not. Maybe just it was like with the Zionist lobby. I'm not really sure. Maybe it was all just like Miriam Adelson and all those people.
I don't. Yeah, because like I said,
and
I don't think Miriam Adelson is part of that group.
Right, but I mean, it's freaking. Was it Mark Levin up on stage like clutching him, being like, "Oh, this is the first Jewish president," right? And Trump has that look on his face, like, There has been suggestions that he actually converted, right? I mean, obviously,
let's go even deeper. Mark Levin's not Jewish. He's French.
What do you mean?
Mark Levin is not Jewish. Not religiously, not ethically. He's not a Jew.
Well,
he's not. Look that up. He's French.
I mean,
he's ethically French. He's not. He has not converted to Judaism. Also, Laura Loomer, not Jewish.
So are you saying like Mark?
I think that's a
Levin is
fact.
like,
You can look that up.
you're saying Mark Levin is like a turbo Shabbos. He's like, okay. Well.
I think he's a chaos. Like,
wait, well, I mean,
he's a foil to
Levin his real name, because Levin is a very
name. But I have researched this thoroughly. He is French. He is not Jewish. I don't know if it's his real name, but no, he's not. He's not.
Mark Reed Levin, one of 3 boys, was born in Philadelphia to a Moorish family and grew up in Anaheim. His father, Jack E. Levin, authored several books. He enrolled at Temple University. He sounds very Moorish, mate, right? Like he went to a Moorish school, born in a Moorish family. I think you might be off.
I may be misinformed. All right, so we'll scratch that until I can do some more research. But I have it on Go to Theory that somebody.
I mean, I heard this thing about I heard this thing about Laura Loomer, right? That like she is in fact like she's not like actually Moorish, but
no, she's not.
You know, wait. What is this going on? It's like trying to tell me. Oh right, hang on. I've got to switch this. What's going on?
Oh, it's a fantastic logo. What is going on? I don't know.
Oh, why is it? It's telling me I'll have to like share 2 things at once. Oh, God damn it. Oh, here we go. Remove source. Okay, right. Yeah, I mean, it'd be funny if Laura Loomer isn't in fact.
Yeah, but have you seen? Well, I posted that picture of her like when she has normal hair. To a Jewish family. 11 footnote.
Okay, let's check the footnote, shall we? From Politico, Levin, who is Moorish, suggested on multiple occasions that Stewart is a self-hating Moor.
How is that relevant?
It's talking about. It's one of those like.
Oh, that's the source on him being Jewish, like this guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Politico?
That's a terrible source.
That's not a good source.
That's not a good source. Oh, I hate Wikipedia for that. I don't know.
But like, I mean, to my point.
Look at that face. You're telling me he's not Moorish? Like really?
Well,
really?
Laura Loomer also has a Moorish-looking face, but she's not.
No, she just.
I think they selected some people who look Moorish, even though they aren't. To LARP, I think they have like. I think there's I'm not 100% on.
Yeah, Loomer's like weird. I mean, and she's like,
yeah, like nobody watches the show.
I despise the self-haters. I really do. I despise them. Levin said at the end of his segment, adding that he doesn't trust moos who change their names.
Find out that his name actually isn't Levin.
Oh my God. I love it when like they say stuff that like if you said as a Gentile, like you just get like completely like pilloried. Oh yeah, right. You know, this is because Jon Stewart changed his name from Leibowitz.
Right.
To Stewart. It's moo on moo violence, mate.
I'm not convinced. Anyway. But anyway, yeah. I posted that picture of Laura Loomer with like normal hair.
Oh,
like
you look psycho,
like if we can, this is like more like artsy fartsy stuff, but like the way she like does her hair and her makeup, right? She center part greased to the sides, like she's trying to look like a Jewish immigrant, right? And then she puts like the dark circles under her eyes and like the shiny stuff on her lips to make herself look more Middle Eastern than she actually is.
So she's like the white Whoopi Goldberg, is what you're saying.
Yeah, she's like the white Whoopi Goldberg. That's very good. She's what's her name? Who's the woman who said she was black for all those years?
Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, Rachel Dolezal or Talcum X.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's certainly a profitable switch to make.
But
the thing is, right? Like, I don't know how you'd get in the club like that, right? Because they have like lists and stuff, right? Like particularly for the high up moves. There's a book called The Unbroken Chain that's like, you know how they're like there used to be those like books that were like who's who in New York or something like that, right? And it would like list all of the sort of the aristocracy and And no. Well, the unbroken chain is like the mooish version of that, and it's, it lists people and their like ancestors and all this kind of like other stuff. But I suppose it can't be exactly foolproof. Man, Luma's done well for herself. I mean, she's basically part of the administration now. And
wait. I was going to talk about that. What is her job actually?
I think
she doesn't have one. The answer is she doesn't have one.
I think she has
no job in the administration.
I think she manages Trump's Twitter feed.
No, but for real, I looked it up. She does not have any position at all in this administration at all, but she just gets to hang around the White House and provide embarrassing content for Candace Owens to retweet to everybody's great enjoyment. She's a clown. She's a professional clown. That's basically her job. Professional mooish clown.
I guess. I mean, she's probably great for a distraction.
Levin as well, right? Whether or not he is actually
right? Like, something's happening, and people are starting to know about it, and you want to keep it on the down low, and you're like, we need like a stupid something or other to distract the plebs, like while we
to provide to be the foil, like to be the heel character in this drama, like Levin as well. Like he'll say something obnoxious, and so Tucker can go on his show is, what is this? What's going on? Is this normal? Right? This is Mark Levin. Who is this? What's going on?
What's going on? Really?
Really? Oh, I'll work on it.
Oh, I think your laugh's better than mine. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, sometimes
Tucker Carlson, man,
like I've got it. Sometimes I think I've got it nailed down, and then everything sort of like shifts, or like I change my perspective slightly, and it just all breaks apart into like these kaleidoscopic colors, and I've got like no idea what the fuck I'm even looking at. Like UK politics is like that at the moment, right? Like everything's gone insane, right? Like the prime minister might be about to step down. They appointed like a new ambassador to the Epstein class. They literally brought back like an old prime minister so they could appoint him ambassador to the Epstein class. He's like the global financial ambassador or some fucking like shit, right? And I was thinking about it, like it really says a lot about, when people are like, the money power doesn't exist. Yeah, well then why do we need an ambassador to the money power, right? It clearly does exist, right? And I don't know, Starmer might step down, but then he might not, and there's a leadership challenge, and maybe it isn't. No. And meanwhile, everything is just so his new plan is like to like properly completely ban all oil and gas extraction, basically, right? Like it won't. So up till this point, they've just been like trying to soft ban it by taxing all the companies 70% on all of their like profits. But now they're going to pass the law and say, in the middle of like the largest energy shock, like probably in forever, they're going to ban all oil and gas drilling. Oh, it's gonna be great. Look, I could probably stand to lose a few pounds. I'll get on that famine diet. You're like good, right? Hunt some rat, insane, man.
That's a good contrast, though, Britain, because they actually the old guard actually still is in control of Britain, and the way they behave, like it's superficially kind of sort of. They say they have the same allegiances, but it night and day, really.
I mean, when you say the old guard, what you mean the Fabians? Like,
no, the Zionists. The Zionists are in control of most of Europe.
Yeah. But the
Australia,
Zionists,
less so in the United States. It's very much different.
The Zionists and the Fabians are very, very. No, sorry, the Bolsheviks and the Fabians are like buddy.
I don't know what a Fabian is.
They're like incremental socialists. So they believe in the socialist revolution, but instead of like doing like a heck and wholesome chungus like actual revolution in the streets, they infest and infiltrate like all parts of society, and then through incremental adjustments to like law and the economy and everything like that, they get to the heckin' wholesome revolution. Or as Starmer says, fairness is our greatest strength through fairness. Strength through fairness. That's like a literal quote of his. Strength through fairness. I'm like,
strength through fairness.
These parts are just channeling fucking George Orwell at this point. I hate it. I hate it. Anyway, we're up to about an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half.
That was fun. Do you have any last words or anything you like to plug?
Last words? Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
When's the next Virtue Signal 2?
I am working on artwork. I was going to show you what I was working on, but we can't share my screen. Well, no, sharing my screen apparently crashes my machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna redo the artwork and I'm gonna re-release that. Civil War II ships this week, hopefully, and then it's a 40-day boat ride from Hong Kong Libre to Philadelphia, where it will be where there are plenty of extras
available for sale.
Available for sale. If you didn't get into the campaign, there are extras, lots of extras. Maybe I made too much extras, but hey, it's not perishable, so who cares?
Available now on, well, not Dickstarter because they banned your ass
so many times.
Yeah. What platform are you on now?
Oh, well, Fund My Comic is where I crowdsourced it through, but it's Antelope Hill, boy. Our
Antelope Hill, yeah.
Fine lads at Antelope Hill have they have one title of mine in stock, which is all there is.
The finest racist books available from Antelope Hill.
Well, the very very serious intellectual white nationalist fair culture of critique.
Yeah.
Oh, I showed you the comic I did for them the day before yesterday, right?
I'm not sure.
I'll let you make it the cover of this.
That'd be great, because I do need art for the thumbnail, because I love to use your art for the thumbnails.
Ride the Tiger. It's Ride the Tiger.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, that was fucking great.
That got 4,000 likes, boy.
It was really good. Is that actually going to be a cover of their release of
No. They declined. I said, hey, you can have this if you want it. They make a cool t-shirt. Like, nah, copyright. Like, yeah, you're right. How does the Calvin peeing on things, how did that get away with it?
I don't know, man. That would make a great t-shirt, for real.
Maybe I can get away with it. I don't know.
All right.
It would be
cool. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I hope I didn't upset everybody too much.
Oh, well, look, if you're upset, leave.
I deviated very.
That definitely, and send this episode to your friends so that they can also get upset and leave comments. We'll definitely won't help the channel or anything like that, right? Absolutely. If you're upset, tell us in the comments. Subscribe and make sure that you don't miss other stuff that makes you upset.
So much cope. Oh, fell for it again with awards all over my body.
My whole body is like a fell for it again award at this point, mate. I'm just like one big fell for it again award.
Yeah.
Don't worry, bros. Next time we get to Voot, I'm sure everything's gonna change. It'll be like this
everything's
time.
Gonna be better
This time. All right. Well, good night. I will speak to you later. Thanks for coming, man.
Cheers.
Okay.
All right, and this time we won't duck out.